Okay, on example 4, we are told that G and F are inverse of one another. And here's what we've discovered in class, that G prime of -9, since they are inverse of one another, will equal 1 over F prime of G of -9. Okay. All right. So that's just using our rule. And so what we have over here then is they did not tell us what G of -9 is, but and here's the thing. Oftentimes on these, there's several different ways to go about finding this out. Now, sometimes I'll just say it, like, but but I noticed here um, that if I said f of -1, this gives me this -9 I'm looking for, because you're going to, and that's kind of what's happening right here, because this will be, that'll be -4, and then that'll be -5. I mean, there's other ways to go about this. Like if you had the graphing calculator, maybe you could find out exactly when that was equal to -9. But anyway, so that's -9. And so that means then, since they're inverse of each other, that G of -9, which I do need, I mean, it's the very first thing I'm about to do, G of -9 would have to equal -1. And remember, that's the reason for that is because your X and Y's are switched. That's what inverses do. So on F, you have the point -1, -9. And that means on G, you would have the point -9, -1. All right, so now I can proceed. All right, so that gives us 1 over, and then F prime of G of -9, which we just found to be -1. All right. And now F prime of -1 we can do because we were given F. So F prime itself is going to equal 12x squared plus 5. All right. And so then the value I need in the denominator there then would be F prime of -1. And so I'm just substituting -1 in, and that will be 12 plus 15, because -1 squared is 1. And that's going to give me 1 over 17. So the slope then is 1 over 17. Now, if that makes you a little nervous right here on how in the world we're going to manipulate that, well, oftentimes in this problem, they would just go ahead and say, they would say this, f of -1 equals -9. So it'd be like comma. So you would be told that f of -1 equals -9. So you're not having to search for that. Now, if you did need to search for it, you could break out your graphic calculator and then find out when that y value was -9, because that's what we're looking for. So we would graph, here, I'll just show you, 4x cubed plus 5x. So I'll do it on Desmos because my graphing calculator is gone from my computer. I'm working on that. So 4x cubed, there we go. So 4x cubed plus 5x, right? And so we wanted to know what was the x value when y equals -9. All right, so got to zoom down here a little bit. And then we can see then that -1, -9 is a point on the graph. And so that means on the inverse then, -9, -1, and away we go. Yay.